Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lights Out League Racing, Season 30, Season 30, Season 30. Yes, I heard it right, you heard it right, Season 30. An absolute mega season it's going to be. And we start the season off here in Suzuka. Mr. Otto, Dr. Roboto. Where's Mr. Miyagi when you need him? He's here. And he's commentating for you. And we've just had a brilliant first race of the season. I saw some brilliant action. And we're back here with the Div 2 boys now. Battling out for the Div 2 Championship. And also the best 10 drivers and the bottom 10 drivers. Split between the Professional Championship and the Challenger Championship. So many championships for play this season, and there's going to be a brand new championship holder for Div 2 and both the Professional and the Challenge Championship, with Katamise being promoted to Division 1. His title is up for grabs, and then also Chessbowl being promoted up to the Professional Championship. The Challenger Championship is also up for grabs, so it's going to be an interesting battle, if I do say so myself. If I do say so myself, I think what we're going to do is watch a hot lap. And the first one to cross the line is Kessler in the Red Bull, as he goes down the start finish. And hope you have a better hot lap than Div 1, where they all kept just spinning out. He flings his car into turn 1, high speed entry, positions himself carefully for turn 2, a great overtaking opportunity through the S-curves, where you've got to just gauge it correctly. Each bend has a different camber and elevation. Very tricky. Climb uphill round Dunlop and turn 7, gather speed as you climb round the Degners. First Degner, you need very good precision. I might see some last minute overtaking at the second, where we saw 1 or 2 spin as we approach. Not good traction coming out the second Degner here, but as Kessler approaches the hairpin, he's pulled out of his lap as he's invalidated. I think we're on to an Alpine of Benji to continue as he's come out of the hairpin, approaching Spoon. A blind first corner where you want to throw your car in. Be brave, don't go wide or you're going to invalidate. Come out the second corner of Spoon, turn 14, where you want a good exit, don't get on the throttle too early. And then a drag race down to 130R, a fearsome push to the limit. Pretty straightforward corner, to be honest. Coming to the final few corners, turn 16, 17, the Casino Chicane, where you're going to see 1 and 2 brave manoeuvres. A very similar Chicane 2 Spa, as we cross the line with a 1:28.4 for the Alpine. And it's a good first lap, which is going to be a tricky one to beat, I reckon. I wouldn't be surprised. 1 or 2 invalidations as Benja. Spider-Man meme, 28.8, so 4/10, split by Josh in the Haas. As Terry Red's provisional pole, and 27.9, good half a second ahead of Benji. So he's nailed that first lap. As Dunstorino trying to jump in his slipstream, probably messed up his own run into turn 1. Sygate, provisionally P2, 28.2 in the McLaren. Very good lap there from Sygate. 2-all Bournemouth Tottenham. English Monk, probably not the best lap on full-time debut. Ben Chod, what's his name? Behen Chod. Should I just call him Behen? I don't know. 29.4. Giza P5 in the Aston. Dunstorino doing the lap. I don't think it was him, was it? It might have been Ricciardo. Anyway, one of them. But Dunstorino gets his first lap. Provisional P7. Another Red Bull to cross the line. Dan Morris doing it. And how up is it? John next. No, he's invalidated. It's a Rari. Lennon's going round, so it's Danny Dine back into the pits as he caused himself some damage on his outlap. Dickhead. Said it's invalidated, so he's going to have to go round again. That's someone in the pits. Got a Gooner. Says he identifies as a cucumber. Let's hope he's not a cucumber in a woman's prison. Otherwise he's going to be filthy. Ricciardo Milos. Original P4 in the Sauber. One or two drivers just find it quite tricky. Nagel in the Williams. P10. 31. Why do you cry, Nagel? Let's have a look in the chat. No one in the actual chat on YouTube with me. Keep me company, boys and girls, please. As crossing the line there was Lennon, the Ferrari. Taking provisional P5. Regan McKinnon on debut. P3 slots behind Cygate. So McLaren's looking tasty. Carrying on their form from last season. Dan Morris goes P6. Benji gets himself onto the front row with his second lap 28.1. As Danny P14 on his first flying lap 135. As Sadders goes P31. Imagine P16. So let's meet the drivers for this season. Brand new season, brand new drivers, brand new teams. And there's going to be a great battle, I think, for the championships. Went right to the wire last season, and I think it will do this season. And Terry Reds will be one of them. Currently on provisional pole, 2 tenths ahead of Benji. Was kind of there, but not quite at the tip of the battle. Very consistent throughout the season and showing up, just didn't quite get those wins that he needed. I don't think he got a win actually last season. He's got quite a few second and thirds, but just needs those wins. So especially with Benedict, Katamies and Wesker missing, there's more opportunities. Let's see what he can do. And he's joined by English Monk, as we see who's that? I think it was his teammate. Anyway, let's go back to teams. Terry Red's his teammate is English Monk. Couple of reserves with us last season, but it's got a full-time seat and will join Terry's in the Visa Carb. Be interesting to see what he can do. Not the most impressive first lap. I'm sure he's got more time in the tank. Alpine, Benji, front row currently P2. Got himself a few podiums as well, but quite inconsistent on finishing in some races. Needs to just not retire and just claim those points. All the points add up towards a championship and towards your battle for constructors, and he'll be definitely one battling for the championship as the professional driver. And he's joined by Big John. He's yet to set a hot lap and got himself a couple of podiums in the Challenger Championship. So, and it's one of those things of he's not the quickest as yet, improving every race, but you just need to be there, finish the race, and you never know where you're going to finish in your championship battle. So let's see what Big John can do. The McLaren boys. So we've got Cygate, who's currently on provisional pole for the Challenger Championship, and is only a 10th behind Benji. So very impressive start to the season here for Cygate. Again, got himself a couple of podiums last season in the Challenger Championship. Let's see what he can do. Fulham 2-1 against Chelsea at Bants. Oh, I'm off the stream, shit. Oh my god. I'm back in play. I'll be very keen to see what he can do. And he is joined, reserving is Regan McKenna on debut, filling in for Clen. He's missing for the first race of the season. As Gunarads goes up to P7. 1-2 drivers just starting in their second run. So yeah, on debut, not bad, running P4. Can he slip above his teammate? Let's just keep an eye on Sygate, who's just slightly down on his time. He drives straight in the pits, takes the bollard with him. So Ferrari's end, Lennon. He was definitely up there for the battle, but ended up just fading out on the last couple of races out of the championship battle. But he's definitely one that'll be in the fight. Running P5. But he'll be one to watch. Leading the Ferrari team in the professional, and he'll be joined by Danny Dine, who has taken a full-time seat as well this season. Just to see how he improves on a consistent basis. Dutchman, very good love. Jack says we love to see a good old Terry's on pole. I love to see Terry's dancing on a pole. Sexy girl. Yeah, we're all Terry Reds lovers. Meow meow, motherfucker. Debut here as Terry's extends his time on pole, 27.910, so just slightly. Keys up to P5 in the Aston. Bench chod, Behen chod, whatever. The 69th of them on debut. Just gets out of the way of the Aston. In the Mercedes. And driving in the Challenger Championship, currently running P8. And not a bad first outing for him. Be interesting to see what he does this season, joined by Sedders, who drove in Div 1 last season but has been relegated down to Div 2 in the professional championship. So definitely one to keep an eye on for that championship battle. Yet to set a decent lap time. I'm sure that will improve as qualifying unfolds. Haas, Josh has got himself up to P4. Was right in the battle, right in the mix with Chespo, but just right to the end, just couldn't get the points he needed to claim that championship, but does get promoted up to the Challenger Championship, just invalidates that lap. Benji jumps on pole, 27.6, good 0.3 ahead of Terry's. He's done a Randy Orton and got that out of nowhere. Good time there from the Alpine. So yeah, let's see what he can do against the next level of drivers. Currently doing well in P4 though. Got himself some good finishes in qualifying last season. It definitely means he's worth putting into the mix for the Challenger Championship. Aston Martin, he's joined by up to P9. He's a cucumber. And takes a full-time seat for the first time in Lights Alley Racing. Reserved a few times last season. And probably I'd say he's averaging around where he is at the moment. Sedders up to P8 ahead of his teammate then. After his first flying lap. Or decent flying lap. So a bit more respectable for the Mercedes. I'll also go and introduce the Aston Martin team. As Kiza. He'll be eyeing up that championship. Apparently he's favourite in quote marks. We shall see. Needs to be just a bit more consistent and that race pace. At the moment he's running P5 in quali, so a decent first lap from him. And joined by his mate Danny, who joined in a couple of reserves last season. Back to full time. And fighting in the Challenger Championship. What can the bad boy do? Callum cheering on Terry. He needs to find another 0.3 so to get above Benji. Next up, we got the Mercedes, and I've said it. Oh, no, I've done Mercedes. Team Egg reunited, but in the Williams this time. As Dan Morris goes up to P8 with a 28.3 with 3 minutes to go. Has he got enough time to get in and out and do another lap? Benja representing the professional championship again. We're in P12. He's the hard-boiled egg. The leader of the team, joined by sunny side up Magel. Got himself a couple of challenger podiums, and he'll be looking to get a few more this season. Needs to hopefully improve from his current P17. What can he do? Sauber boys, Ricciardo Milos and Dunsterino, both brand new full-time team. It'll be interesting to see how they work together. They're both reserving for us a couple of times last season as well, taking the full-time spots. And Ricciardo joining the professional championship battle with Dunsterino. Get back into the Challenger again. Let's see how they unfold. And then we've got the Red Bull boys. So Kessler in the professional battle. Got himself, I think he got himself a race win in there in the Challenger last season, which is a good going. And he's teamed up with Chesbo, the Challenger champion, missing this week, and he is getting reserved by Mr. Dan Morris. Just didn't feel it in Div 1. Didn't feel like he was up to the pace, and has dropped down to reserve and is retired from the session. So highest he will start is P8. And that's your team rundown for season 30, as everyone comes out to start their final flying laps. Let's have a look how these bottom boys. I'll see you'll be first to cross the line then. So Magel, he's potentially do another lap or so. Has he done a warm-up lap? He's improved by 3/10 but stays P17, 3/10 behind Kessler. So we've got next to across the line will be Danny Dine. He's just coming round Spoon. There's a good exit coming out the second corner of a very tricky turn 14. He's found almost 8/10. That's exactly what he needed. We'll get him to 31, so we'll get him above John. Can he find some extra time in the final sector, get himself ahead of Magel? It's a big lap if he can nail it. Across the line he does, up to P18 for Danny Dine then. John just behind him. Down on his time, so he's not going to improve there. I think English Monk is invalidated. Struggling. Right, who've we got? It's a McLaren next then. So Regan McKinnon, P7, doesn't improve on his position. Is it Kessler? Kessler's next across the line. We'll start highest, P16 then. Sedders crosses the line, P10. Mr. Bench, P3. Good final lap from him. Next to Benja. He needs to improve, get himself into the top 10. He cannot. P12 for him. As Goon across the line, the Hask goes up to P4 above his teammate. He'll be absolutely thrilled with that. Dunsterino will start behind his teammate, highest P14. Giza P7. I think he'll probably expect a bit better with Josh. Terry's Reds back on pole, 27.5. He's found an extra few tenths and he's ahead of Benji boy. Next is Sygate, who will start P5, but brilliant qualifying and season start for him. Benji's pulled out. He's messed his lap up, which at the moment has Terry's on pole. Lennon crosses the line, will start P6 with 28.1. Ricciardo Milos, I think he's down. He's down, and I don't think anyone else is going to improve into the pits. I don't think English Monk in the lap. So Terry's takes pole in Suzuka for the first race of the season. And his fan club will be absolutely thrilled. I don't think Regan McKinnon. No, he's down. I didn't go premature. I don't need any tablets. Oh, I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. I know. Terry's lover wants you. He wants you. Just wait for 1 and 2 drives. Get in the pits. I'm sure everybody will be thrilled for Terry's. And I think he'll be thrilled as well. But he's got a big job in his hands, Mr. Saturday. His poles are rare like rocking or shit. And so are his race performances following a decent qualifying. Bournemouth 3-2 in the 95th minute. Tottenham are shit. Oh, I'll take a quick slurp. From all the excitement, I might get a little hoarse. Oh, you might need to put a saddle on me. So, race 1 of season 30 in Suzuka. Terry's on pole with a 27.5. Benji joins him on the front row. Bench Chod behind, and Guna adds great season debuts. Sygate P5, Lennon 6, Josh 7th, Keeser 8th, Regan McKinnon P9, and Dan Morris rounding off the top 10. Sedders and Benja side by side on row 6 with Ricciardo, Milos and Dunn Serena teammates on row 7. Danny and Kessler 15th and 16th, with Magel 17th, Danny Dine 18th, John 19th, and English Monk, Terry's teammate. Starting from the rear then. Manu, 1-1. Do not get in fucking Burnley. It was a heaven-own goal as well. They can't even score themselves. They're absolute bints. Now I'll do have a couple of minutes while drivers just sort out their strategies. I'm going to have another slurp. Terry's is, he's whomped me. He's whomped me gob. They'll be sorting out their setups and their fuel loads. If anyone saw the Dev 1 race, it's one stop is possible. You do need to nurse off your tyres. It's a medium to high downforce circuit where you are 66% on the throttle. Man City 1-1 against Brighton. Well, when I say they had to put the pressure on Arsenal, just ruining it for themselves, aren't they? Good. Knobheads. Yeah, you have to nurse your tyres, look after them, cope with the high cornering speeds, reduce drag down the straight. I hope somebody hasn't readied up. I think somebody has readied up, and the English Monk has left the session. Oh my Christ. Let me see if I can invite him as Terry's leads the formation lap round. He's not even there to invite. He's going to have to request. And let's have a look at the strategy then. So, more starting on the alternate hat strategy. So maybe they kept an eye on Jax Daniels, Guna, Regan, Benja, Danny and Magel. So Williams both going on the alternate strategy. Everyone else starting on the mediums, looking for that better line. Start off the line. An old traditional track. This one, which a lot of drivers quite controversial of who likes them or that doesn't. His first appearance was in 1987, and that's had quite a few moments over the years. Of course, then to 2014, the unfortunate Jules Bianchi incident where he hit the recovery vehicle. But we have a lot more safety guidelines in play. It's a 5.8 kilometre circuit, where it's the only circuit on the calendar with a crossover and a figure 8 layout. 18 corners, 10 to the right, 8 to the left, with the one DRS zone, where at the end it's not always the best place to overtake, which we did see one or two though. The original drawings did see this track have 3 parts where it went over and under, and we're getting them dropping like flies now. What's going on? Stay in. I can't invite you if you're bloody not in. I can write Danny Dime, but I can't see. Oh, I'll invite you. You're not online though, English Monk. He's back in. He's back in play. Here's a catchphrase. Don't call me Matthew Kelly. I'll go in prison. Terry's is at the front. He's going to be under threat from Benji on row 2. 22.7 seconds. 277 metres from pole to turn 1 braking point. You only want the one stop, as I said. That's 22.7 second pit stop, including stop time. Fulham have beaten Chelsea. Love to see it. But I also love to see us back watching these guys on the grid. Div 2 boys for the first time in 2026. I've seen the lights go out. It's 4, it's 5. I'm all tingly inside because it's lights out and away we go. The Sauber pointed inwards and it's a good start from Terry's. Benji has to slot behind. Lennon losing a place out to Goon already as the Haas runs deep. And we've got a car that's spun. It's Dan Morris. Looks like he got congestion on the inside, and the McLaren of Regan as well. He's lost out many places. A bit scruffy from the Div 2 boys as Keys has lost out 5-2. But big gains by many. The biggest gainer is Gloria. Gloria Gaynor. She's massive. Benja again ahead of Danny. Up to P11. Danny Dimes back in. And Gunnar in the Haas. Yellow flag out and he's in the gravel. Round the second Degma. Not where you want to be. And just wants to hope for a potential safety car. It's a 67% chance of a full safety car and a 50% chance of a VSC, which we did see in Div 1. English Monk losing out a couple of places to John. And Danny Dine, who is back with us. Oh, and who's that? It's Big John in the gravel. He's missed his braking point. Apparently he says it's a 2-stop. Amazon here. Dan Morris getting himself back on track. Danny Dine should be in his car any minute now, which I think he's back in. Terry Reds showing that pace is Kessler. Losing traction out of the chicane. Regan McKinnon into the pits then. Doesn't speed, thankfully. He must have a damaged wing. And Gunnar in as well. Probably has a damaged wing too. He does. Anking it off. Early pit stops then there for the McLaren and the Haas. The front three have pulled away. So Terry's and Benji's mentioned. Championship rivals predicted. But bringing along, it's a train all the way down to P8 and Ricciardo. Yeah, it's going to be a close battle, this one, I think. A little bit of loss of traction there from the Sauber. Sadder's now looking to try and make a move on Josh in the Haas. Runner's gearbox as we approach Spoon. He thought about it coming out of the hairpin, but just didn't get the traction. Runs wide, and that opens the door for Ricciardo to gain a place up to P7. You've got to make sure you slow the car down enough but not get on the throttle early, or that curve pulls you in, and it's exactly what it did to the Mercedes. He's looking to make a move at the chicane, not quite. As Aston boys exchange position, Danny letting Keys past. Different strategies. And will we see, with DRS now active, a new leader of the race, which you do, Benji, up to P1. Lennon making a move on Cygate. As we go further back and see Kessler in the Red Bull, making strides on Magel up to P13. Lucky for some. Keys are all over the back of Benja through the S's. Benja's stuck behind the Sauber. Dunster Rinio. Newcastle 2-all. That bloody Thiago for Brentford. He got 2 bloody goals, didn't he? Oh, that was brave from Dan Morris on the outside of the first Degner. Wow. Wow from Dan. I was expecting to see him in the gravel. But also I'd say great drive from Magel. Managed to get his car turned in as well. He could have easily gone deep. That's a very quick corner. And they both took it with precision. Sanders gaining on a place on Ricciardo. Have they done exactly what they did? But alternate drivers on the last lap. There's Keyser. Just before 130 arc, making in position again, like he did on the last lap. Just making use of these medium tyres on the hard boys. Benja leading the way on the alternate strategy. Lennon taking that provisional fastest lap. So DRS is working. They've broken away from Cygate. Benji still leading the way so far. How's Danny Dine with DRS? 2-1 United, get in. Burnley, you absolute cretins. Regan McKinnon, fastest lap. Pumping in that leather. Leather? Leather? Rubber? Leather? Kinky. It's a very tight bow. You see how these cars are concertinaing. Josh just has to go a little deep as he didn't expect Seigate to be as slow as what. Yellow flag. It's an Alpine, and I think it's Big John out of the second Degner. He's gone too deep and into the gravel. Just a yellow flag for that part of the track, though, thankfully. We've got this battle for the race win. 23 laps to go. Long way to go. Long way to go. Who's messing with me? Danny Dine. Oh, yeah. Need an invite, which I already did. I was on it, mate. Don't worry, I was on it. But look at that cluster behind. Seigate's he's potentially he's defending the inside of turn 1. This could be a good move from Josh on the outside. The side by side. Oh, it's very tight. Leaving it on just enough room. Seigate defends that well. And oh, look at that opportunist move from Sedders. As Josh went deep and got closed down by Seigate. Sedders jumped on it, gained that position coming out of turn 2. You'd love to see him. Brilliant drive there from the Mercedes. That's a good start to the race for the team. Both running P3 and P6 at the moment. Josh will be seething. And Ricciardo, they're just waiting with intent. There you've got another cluster of cars behind, with Geezer leading the way. Oh, Josh has gone deep at the hairpin. His head's gone. His head's gone. He's done a Tottenham. He is a Tottenham fan. His head's gone. He's doing a Tottenham. It's Keys Geezer happy to gobble up that easy position. Mistake at the hairpin for Josh. Just going too deep. He's some 41'd it. So broken away here. Just Seigate and Sedders. Seigate be under threat from the DRS. Rich Benji's doing well to defend at the moment. Is Terry's close enough to make it? It's not. But we will see Sedders on the outside turn 1. There's nothing Seigate can do on that one. And it's a brilliant drive. P5 for Sedders then. He settles himself into the new season. First warning goes to Magel. Why do you cry, Magel? Battling with the English monk, who doesn't seem to be in his car. Let me see if I can re-invite him. You can't be English if you've got internet like this. Get back in. That's what's happened to Seigate here. He's lost out a couple of positions. He's getting swamped. Has to defend from the Sauber. I think he's gone off on the Degner, because he's dropped down a few positions. Losing out another one here to the Sauber. It's going to be brave whoever makes it through. Very wise driving from Dunster-Renio. Just slots in behind the McLaren. Knew his race could have been over. Oh, it's unfortunate for Seigate after some brilliant qualifying. Still running a decent P9. Just needs to settle his head. Yellow flag. Yellow flag as Terry's retakes the lead of the race. Is it Danny? I think it might have been Danny. Lost out on a couple of possessions to the Red Bulls. I think at the chicane he's probably just gone a bit deep. English monk up to P16 ahead of Magel. The Englishman can actually get back in. Love to see what he can actually do. At the moment it's his ghost car. And Terry's back at the spearhead. Looking more in his mirrors than he is in front. I bet he's shaking. I bet he's sweating like Mike Tyson at the spelling contest. Jack Daniels says, if Terry's can hear this, you rock. You go, girl. But it's not just Benji. It's Mr. Bench and Lennon. And you'd like to hope that they battle this on track and there's no track limits involved. There's plenty of time to go. Can Terry's defend the lead of the race? Is Benji going to retake it immediately? Terry's defending the outside, but Benji has to slot behind him. So he just had enough pace. Have they broken away? Keezer up to P6 now. He's like a quiet fart. He's silent but deadly. Comes out of nowhere. Down exchange positions with his teammate for today. Up to P12 with the Red Bull. The DRS is Benja. This is where probably part of the strategy where the hard tyres are a bit better than the mediums. And he's right on the back of this battle for P8. It's Mr. Bench running P3. Oh, he got a McLaren just ahead of Sayet, losing control at the second Degner again. Oh, this English monk. I thought monks were supposed to be peaceful. Sending my stress levels through the roof. Get back in. Put your gown on. You bald bastard. Oh, Burnley 2-all. Get in the bin. Get in the bin, you brown bastards. Get a proper kit. Oh, gimps. A lot of them. Put your masks on. This was a battle for P4. Mr. Bench, yeah, running P3. Part of the Challenger Championship. Leading the way. And put himself in a fine position at the moment. As Saigate pitting, so pitting a little bit early as well, getting off these tyres. As we see Dunster in now. Oh, Benji with a snap of the rear traction. Managed to hold it. Good save there for the Williams. Saigate going on the hards early. You saw what happened with Portuguese pitting a bit early. And if he had a wing change as well. He wasn't in there long enough to have one. Yellow flag. It's Mr. Bench. Oh, I've jinxed him. Oh, and John's retired. Big John is in the pits. Oh, John. I jinxed him. He's running so well and he's lost out a couple of positions now. Lennon and Sedders capitalising on the mistake, which puts Lennon now into the podium position. Three-car battle here for the race win. Just needs to compose himself. Cheers for retiring in the pits, Big John. It's a shame that you've had to go. He slowed his car just in time. Jesus. As him and Ricciardo into the pits. Dunsterini in the pits, so same strategy. I think it's a little bit early, you know. I think they can go another couple of laps, at least on these mediums. Dan Morris in as well. So I'm going to go on the two-stop, which didn't work for Katz. The only driver in Div 1 to go on. Callum jizzing all over Terry's. This battle here is tighter than a cat's arsehole. We don't know who's going to win. Saigate goes ahead of Dan Morris. Saigate a little bit of clean air, so Hopefully he can just get his head sorted, and once all the pit stops happen, find himself in a decent position. But yeah, it's a little bit early, I think, for that pit stop. It's going to be a struggle at the end. Doing that's just a drift. But at each finishing position, you get points, which are valuable towards your championships and your constructors. His teammate currently running P6. Mr. Bench, with those fresh tyres, getting past the English Monk. Bloody hell, he's still not in his car. Get in! Not even online. Do you even go here? Danny. Look, oh, brilliant move from Danny, just in outside of turn 1. He made that just in time, or it could have been an absolute carnage as Regan McKinnon's going in pit stop again. A brilliant move from the Aston Martin. Flew his car outside of turn 1. And up to P8. His tyres will be in a better state than Kessler's. Trusted his car. His front 3 still going, keeping each other honest. I wonder who'd be looking after their tyres more. Who's going to bite the bullet first? Will someone try and do an undercut? How's Bench? And the hairpin getting past Magel on those nice new mediums. Bench is doing a 2-stop. Is Bench doing a 2-stop? He's not. There's no way he's doing it to the end on these mediums. Terry's and Benji, they're doing it. They're trying to do an undercut on Lennon, who carries on. And this will be interesting to see what time Lennon can punch in some clean air now. But he needs to put his foot down. He's also got Sedders only 3 seconds behind as well. I'd say is probably part of this battle. Benja goes through. Alternate strategy. Danny as well. So it's not going to be plain sailing here for Terry's. And what is good for Terry's though is that Benji's had to come out behind Kessler. He's wanted to try and get past him as quick as possible. But this is for position. So Kessler doesn't have to let him past. And there's no reason why he should. Terry's will be laughing. I can imagine Benji in his helmet. Just will he make a move at the hairpin? Kessler's old 11 lap mediums. No, Benji might be able to get a better traction. As Bench doing the move on the outside on Danny Dime. Brilliant move from the Mercedes. Up to P8 now. And he's absolutely flying up the order. Benji just can't get past Kessler, who's putting a brilliant defence on. And has opened that gap up to over a second to Terry's. Which is great news for the RB. Lennon's in. Will Sedders follow him in as well? He does. Let's see where they come out. Can Lennon come out ahead of Benji? As Benji managed to get past Kessler. Runs deep. Well, he's got himself ahead of the Red Bull. Benji is now that takes the lead of the race. On the alternate strategy. Lennon's coming out. Sedders coming out. Terry's goes through. With Danny right behind him. Has DRS on Danny. Lennon comes out ahead of Benji. So that lap behind Kessler has hampered Benji and cost him a position potentially on the podium and the race win. And they need to dispatch the Aston Martin of Danny. Keys is pit, so he'll be hoping his teammate can do him a bit of a job and hold these guys up. Lennon takes a quick look before the hairpin. Takes the inside line. Brilliant move from Lennon. Has better traction coming out of the hairpin. And good opportunism from Benji as well. Follows him. follows Leonard's line. And they don't get stuck behind Danny too long. But they've got 2 seconds now to the net leader of Terry's. Bit of breathing space for the Visa Carb. And if these two battle as well, they need to work together to close in on Terry's. Mr. Bench getting past Danny as well, coming out of Spoon. I think Mr. Bench has to pit again though. I can't remember if he started on hards or not. He absolutely gutted if it was. Sedders should be able to make a move as Benji gets past Lennon with DRS, so no, not that much damage done apart from time behind Terry's. Ricciardo Milos struggling as Keyser ahead of Magel. In P9. There's a couple of cars that still have to pit ahead of him. Dan Morris following Josh through the S's and up Dunlop. Avoid that outside curb, it's absolutely lethal. It's where someone was it Wayne? I think it was Wainwright in the in Div 1. And Dunlop, I think he hit the curb and just went into the wall, and that's where the VSC came out. English Monk isn't back in, so he's going to lose a place out to Regan McKinnon. He's finally pit onto to the end of the race. And some constructor points for Clen. Benjo, oh, you see he's struggling with traction all over the place. I would have thought he'd pit now, but he's going another lap. Is he trying to do I can't remember who did it. Someone went a bit longer and went onto the softs. Can't remember. But what this will, the likes of Lennon and Benji will be hoping for is that Terry's gets stuck behind him, as we see Dan Morris and Magel battling for P11. Dan Morris making the move down to turn 1, but he's right on the gearbox here with Josh. Josh after a great qualifying. Found himself in quite a few battles. There's 3 seconds for Benchard as well. He's doing this to himself. Commentator's curse. Sorry. I'm sorry. He's turning to be old fur coat, no knickers. Dropping down. Gaps forming now. It's only 1.5 seconds now. Terry's, he's shaking in his boots. You can see them closing in behind him. Another couple of tenths gained through this final sector. As Ricciardo gets up to P7 ahead of the Casino Chicane. I think Danny will get out of the way of Keyser as well. Gets himself on the gravel, as he should be going in the pits. He does. Get some fresh tyres. Mercedes boys exchanging positions. Setters, the lead driver, up to P5. Danny's got past. Dan Morris has got past Josh too. And has some clean air to try and close this battle for P7 for the Red Bull reserve. As we see Magel in the pit as well. Terry's is stuck behind Benja, and this is not what he wanted, and it's brought Benji and Lennon back into play, and the advantage that he got from the pit stop's gone. And this will make an interesting battle for the final third of this race. And Terry's just got Benji stalking him. He can smell his fumes from his exhaust. As the Williams of Benja just doing his own race. Terry's has to brake earlier, knowing that Benji's on a different strategy. He's finally in the pits and releases Terry's, who will have DRS too, so can have some defence from Benji and Lennon behind. Sedda's taken the fastest lap, who's now 2 seconds behind the leading bunch. DRS won't help him, but he's sped away from his teammate. Currently running P4, the Mercedes. Who's going to win it out of this 3? Let me know in the chat who's watching. Who do you reckon's going to cross that line first? Is it Terry's? Is it Benji? Is it Lennon? Could it be Sedda's, who's gained half a second? Mercedes absolutely flying. He's part of this battle for the podium and the race win. Josh sticking with Dan. Both on a similar strategy. And just come out P11 then on those fresh mediums. And like Jackson, Div 1 should be absolutely racy. And his next target is Cygate. Has him on penalties anyway, but he needs to get past him and try and close that gap for that battle for P8. It depends how much time he can eat out of everybody. You can see he's already gained half a second on Cygate. As Benji is back into the lead of the race. He thought it could have been over after the pit stops. As Milos pitting, going on the 2-stop. Wrong call for me. As Josh with DRS getting past the Red Bull up to P7. Where did he come out? Kessler and Regan coming down the start-finish straight and will come out ahead of Ricciardo on those fresh hards. Interesting call, the 2-stop. Didn't quite work. Danny Dine. Oh, where's Danny going? Oh, that was a potential unsafe entry as well. Although I think the English monk isn't in his... Is he in his car? It looks like he's back in his car. No, he's not in his car. I can't tell. He's not in his car. Even so, you have to be careful when re-entering the track. Newcastle 2 leads 3. Can shut those Geordie boys up if we don't get a result. Benji's got a bit of breathing space, but Lennon is putting pressure on Terry's. Sedda's putting pressure on the front 3. So much quicker through the middle sector, Sedda's. He just needs to just hope this DRS goes away. That's Danny getting past the English monk then. Back up to P16 for the Aston. After he did a bit of off-road. Kessler at the chicane with Regan. Benja with DRS jumping the McLaren. Regan looking to retake the position, which he does with DRS up to P12. Kessler's under threat from front and behind. He's getting spit roasted. And he doesn't know which end's better. Track limits for Dan Morris. Picked up round the Degners. Interesting place. Probably the first one. Oh, lost of traction on the back end for Dan. Managed to grab his wheel and keep going. And guess what? Sedda's has joined the party. Lap 19 of 27. As Ricciardo gets past Kessler on those fresh hards. There you got the hairpin as well. Getting past the English monk's ghosted car. Gunnar has just on his own race. Had 1 or 2 mini incidents, but it'd be good to get a race finish under his belt Too busy with his cucumbers. We've got a 4-car battle here for the race win. There's Don Storino. Italian hand gesture for speed in the pit lane. You absolute sausage as he jumps on some soft tyres. Was it worth it? Probably not. Drops him all the way down the order. Might get himself a fastest lap. But gets himself 10 seconds with it. He's running P6 now. And I was all over the back of Mr. Benchard, who's still got 7. I swear he's got a pit again. I swear he's got a pit. But he's got Aston Martin. Breathing down his neck. I'll take a quick slurp of my neck oil. I wish it was neck oil. I don't drink much beer and ale, but I do like a good neck oil once in a while. My neck lube. And Mr. Bench is in the pits then getting... Oh, he's done as well. Oh, rookie mistake. Oh my God, Italian hand gesture. And that's the commentator's curse completely screwed him up. Dan Morris in the pits as well. Getting on some fresh tyres. Oh, why'd you go and do that? So as it stands then, Benji, Terry's, Lennon, Senna's all battling for this race win. Keys are running a comfortable P5. Josh P6. I'd say it's a good first outing for the professional championship. He's got Benji closing him on fresh mediums though, so he'll have to take one look in his rear view. Sygate running P8. And that's a penalty, but he's actually leading the way in the Challenger Championship. So it's, and especially with Mr. Bench's penalty behind, although he's on soft tyres, he's not going to get 10 seconds ahead of Sygate. It'll be a big move if he can. Kessler will take the other podium position for Red Bull. It depends on penalties. And what Danny can do on these mediums, closing in on the Red Bull. Sedders is so close here as we come down to turn 1 and 2. There's less than a second between the front 4 with 5 laps to go. You can't predict this, who's going to take it. Is everyone just harvesting their ERS? Anyone brave enough to make a move? There's only 3 out of 4 of these that are going to get a podium. Only one of these is going to get a race win. Who's it going to be? As Ricciardo getting past Regan on that turn 1 move. Danny Dine. Oh, Danny Dine loses his car. He's in the gravel. Just tips up, clips the wall. Managed to get his car going again. I think he clipped the curb and just lost control. English Blanc. His AI is taking him into the pits for some softs, of course, as it does. Just spread out again a bit. Bit of breathing space for everybody. As we approach the DRS straight again. Can Benji fend off this battle as we go down to Mr. Bench on Sygate? Pushing him round. Sygate goes deep on the second corner of Spoon. And Mr. Benchog goes through. Sygate just needs to jump into his slipstream. And follow him round, knowing he's got the penalty. It's actually worth for the front 4. And 4 laps to go. What's gonna happen? I don't know. Go down to Dan Morris on Magel at the casino. Good move from Dan. 5 lap fresher mediums. and DRS. So up to P14. As Danny's made that move on Kessler and up to P12, which will get him onto a podium position in the Challenger Championship. First one for the Aston Martin driver as he takes up the full-time seat. Oh no, Seigate, no. And what's happened to Danny Dines retired in the pits. Seigate again, just struggling on some of the track curbs. And I think that was around Dunlop, I think he lost it. He's had trouble at the second Degma. Let's manage to get it going behind his teammate. But is he out of range? A penalty from Mr. Bench, who could claim the first victory of his LOLR career in the Challenger Championship. Still a yellow flag, but it's the car coming out of the pits. Sedders looking racy. He's making a move here on Lennon. That was brave going up Dunlop. Lennon closed the door on that. Oh, that could have been disaster, but Lennon closed the door on Sedders. He had to give way as Dan Morris on Danny. Stuck behind Seigate on these old hard tyres. We knew he'd struggle. As Dan Morris through the S-bends. Brilliant overtake from Dan. I think Seigate left him plenty of room, but still brave by Dan up to P11. So he's got to nurse his tyres for another 3 laps. As Kessler, oh, that was brave from Kessler. And very wise to pull out of it as well, otherwise he would have lost a wing. Danny was ahead, and it's a hard one to, even though if there's red arrows, and our rules are if there's you see red arrows, you've got to leave room. It's a very fast, tight corner. There's no way you're going to do that. Side by side, Danny goes off wide, I think, but retains the position. As he looks to make a move, but the door's closed by Seigate. Down to 130R. Dan's already gained 3 seconds on Seigate. Absolutely flying Dan Morris. As Sedders has slightly dropped back now. As his tyres just wearing a bit thin. As he made a mistake slightly. He's not out of it. And he's back in that DRS range. Danny goes through on Seigate. Seigate going deep, just can't slow his car down. It's very difficult traction on these old hard tyres. And Magel next to overtake Seigate. Oh, it's such a shame for Seigate. Just pit too early. Didn't hold his nerve for another couple of laps. After, oh, he's clipped the curb on the first Degner. Managed to keep his car under control, but that could have been the end of his race. And I'll tell you what could be the end of a race is that Terry's has dropped out of DRS range on Benji. 3 seconds there for Josh, which could cost him a position to Benja. Terry's, oh, he's back in. He needs to stay back in that DRS to defend from Lennon behind. And Sedders is back in play. Seigate defending from Magel. This is the position. And, for the battle for the championship, you see how much Seigate is struggling. And Magel goes through with ease. Newcastle 3-all in the 91st minute. Goals galore. There better be one from United or I'm going to fucking Burnley. Dickheads. Benji's within. The wrestlers are on the penultimate lap. Sellers is closed in at the rear of this battle for P1. All within 1.5 seconds of each other. This is probably one of the only times that you're actually going to properly make a move. Who's harvested the rear ERS as much as possible? Terry's with DRS open. But Benji's got a big enough gap. Can Terry's put pressure on Benji? Can the LP, will the LP make a mistake? As you were. Benji not close enough to the Haas, but he does know that he doesn't have to make the move. As we go down to the bottom, side gate struggling as we see the Kick Sauber go through. Will Guna go through as well? He does on the inside of 130R. And Sygate, yeah, it's the wrong strategy call from the McLaren after a brilliant qualifying session. Yellow flag. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. It's Sygate. Oh, 2-2 Burnley United. Piss off. We could have capitalised on Chelsea losing. Oh, fuck off. Villa drew. Man City drew. Bollocks. Piss. Final lap. Round 130R for the final time. And this, you'd have to say, is Benji's unless he messes up his traction coming out the chicane. He's had a great lap. A great race. And a great start to the season. And Benji takes first race win in Suzuka. And it was a great battle. Terry's taking P2. Lennon P3. Sedda's so close. Just under 4/10 from a podium position for the Mercedes. But a great race. Kisa Giza will come home P5. Bit of a Lone Ranger race. But I'm sure he'll be happy for first race of the season. Benji jumps on penalties up to P6 ahead of Josh, who takes P7 on his first outing for the professional championship. Mr. Bench comes home P8. Will he take the win? Ricky Milos comes home P8. Mr. Bench P9. Dan Morris joins him. Regan McKinnon jumps both. Where will Kessler come in relation to Mr. Bench for that Challenger Championship? So Mr. Bench takes the win. Kessler will come home P12 and take the second spot. Danny will take the third spot. P14 for Magel. Gunnar adds P15. Dunsterenio P16. English Monk will come home P17. And it's very unfortunate. Sygate just race hasn't gone as it expected it would from qualifying. But this race has got everything. Danny apparently ran out of fuel at the end. It comes home. Sygate. As he limps over the line, I think he ran out of fuel as well by how slow he was going. And first, bragging rights goes to Benji. And big congratulations to him. Alpine taking the first race win of the season. And a well-deserved Saki when you get home, my friend. Fastest lap goes to Sedders. That bonus point. Driver today given to the Red Bull of Kessler. And no mistake takes by Danny. So good mix of constructors as well. But Benji takes that race win. And he'll be well chuffed with that. Terry Reds just missed out. Lennon coming home P3. P4 and fastest lap 30.3 for Sedders. And from P11 as well. Great race. Kisa P5. P6 from Benja from P12. Josh P7 on his championship debut. For professional, Ricky Arami's 8th, Regan 9th, 10th for Dan Morris, Bench, Kessler, Danny, Magel, Guna, Dunsterenio, English Month, and Sygate, and Danny Down, and both Big John, both DNF, and won't pick any points this week. What a first week we've had on a track that not everyone's a big fan of, but we had some brilliant racing happening, and we're definitely going to have it again next week. Race 2 takes us to Miami, and it's a sprint format, which we love, because it's extra racing. Who's going to claim victory for them? Div 1 at 7:30 UK, and Div 2 again at 9 PM UK. Thank you for joining us this week. Good to be back. Happy 2026. My name's Alex. This is Lights Out League Racing. Peace out.